welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Ken Saroka, and this is a wrap-up of or not wrap-up, not because we're still in the middle of it, of the East Brunswick High School fall sports season. And I'm joined in studio by Frank Noppenberger, the Supervisor of Athletics for the East Brunswick Public Schools. And Frank, this is, it seems like every season, but this fall especially, a season of optimism, of winning, and kind of just on the edge, maybe just on the cusp of something really, really great.
Well, that's yet to be seen because it's maybe my favorite time of the year. It's tournament time. All the tournaments are starting. We'll get that in a minute. But before I do that, I just want to thank you for volunteering your time, Dave, Pete, Cindy, for everything they do, for filming the games for our athletes. And on behalf of the parents, the athletes, and the coaches, I thank you guys and TV3 for doing it. It's just and I've said it many times, it's a keepsake for these kids to keep them tape the games. And believe it or not, they use a lot of it for college and helping scholarships, whatever. But that out of the way, thank you to everyone. It seems every fall is a great springboard for the rest of the school year, and this is no exception, except as we talk about the different sports, we'll see there's a few new teams that won a title.
Yeah.
But some of the same old ones, and some of the ones that didn't yet. So it's a different, still winning, a lot of gold, still winning, but some different teams.
And since we're talking about the fall sports season now, we're outdoors, and in this time running takes on the long distance variety. And we'll talk about the boys and girls cross country teams here, both with very impressive records. And I think this is a sport, I mean, years ago, I remember the cross-country team would always have to look up to Old Bridge, look up to Old Bridge, look up to, never seemed to get over that hump, but it seems like in the last couple of years, we've snuck through and broken through that barrier that Old Bridge created for us.
Well, Coach Mary started the cross-country boys on that way up, and Coach Harnett has taken it and continued it, and Coach Talbot, congratulations to Coach Talbot and girls cross-country. Red Division champions. Not sure the last time that happened, Ken. I got to do my research, but that's a good little accomplishment for the girls. We have not had a championship in quite a while. They beat Stevens. Stevens beat South Brunswick. South Brunswick beat us. Creates a three-way tie for the Red Division. And I know the girls are excited about this Saturday will be the GMC championships down at Thompson Park again. And Bianca, you know, she's one of our better runners, and she'll probably place in the top 10, hopefully top 5. Samantha Wu provide a lot of leadership for us, and of course, Alyssa Silver is very consistent, maybe our number 2 runner. I think it'd be a good showing if we went top 3, top 5 for the girls. However, the boys just missed being champions last year at the GMC by 1 place. The 16th kid versus the 17th kid, and that's all it was. There could have been 20 and 22. I don't really recall, but it was that close. Someone just edged us at the finish line. But the boys are returning GMC champs. I mean, Central Jersey champs. And they also run the Red Division this year, flat out by beating everybody. Well, actually, they lost to Piscataway. But they beat Old Bridge in our home course, and I wish them the best of luck, and Brian Smith is one of their leaders. I don't want to jinx any of the team. They didn't want me to mention any names. They want to low-key it because we're kind of hiding in there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Kind of like boys soccer.
Yeah, boys soccer, you know, obviously is up there and gets the notoriety, gets the publicity in the local press. But cross country, it's kind of, you know, you don't see grandstands full of fans cheering cross country.
But we had a great turnout at senior night for the boys and the girls that day. It was a real exciting day. It was against Edison. But we're going to sneak up on people because we run in packs, so we're going to finish in the pack. So don't be surprised if you see the Bears winning a Central Jersey or a conference championship this weekend.
And speaking of championships, we talk about our state champion, Central Jersey Group 4 champion football team. That was a surprise last year, honestly, Frank. I mean, I having done these games over the years, you could have seen that 04 team do it. You felt it. There was a buzz. But that team last year just kind of snuck up on everybody. Well, and that game played down at the College of New Jersey in the snow. Was a classic.
Great atmosphere. Sometimes, you know, you're a little lucky. Maybe the weather helped us because they spanked us at our place. But we knew we could play with them. And if you give Borden and his staff 2 weeks as they showed against Howell 2 weeks ago, we're going to get a package together, something you haven't seen. The snow, the new package, maybe they had a little panic in them, the other team, caused us to win. But that's why you keep score. You know, that's why you play the game. On paper, maybe we didn't belong there, but you never know. So congratulations.
Well, the game against Howell, again, this is a team that you had some time to prepare for. This quarterback would average 300-plus yards passing, and East Brunswick shut him down with ball control offense, and that was wonderful. And then great euphoria and high, and then you come up against Sayreville, and Sayreville's just such an awesome team.
Yeah, they're good, and you know, we made some mistakes, and in high school football, 1 or 2 breakdown on a play will cause a big gainer. And I'm not sure if they're that much better than us, but we may get to see them again in the playoffs. We're not talking playoffs. We're not thinking playoffs. We're thinking this week, Piscataway.
Well, how many games? There are two more games on the Bears schedule before the decision about playoffs and the selections there.
So Piscataway, and then at South, and then home with South Brunswick, which you and I were just talking, which is going to be senior night for the football players, the cheerleaders, and the band.
And that will also be an EBTV game, which we will be broadcasting.
But we still got a shot there, and don't count us out. Can never count the Bears out in any sport. But football, we've got a knack of being the underdog in the playoffs. Let me just mention a few kids. Jared Lynch and Julian Quinton, they're getting all the headlines. They're getting Division I offers. Unsung heroes, maybe Nick Goodzak on the defensive end. Here's a kid who started playing football just a few years ago. And with some encouragement, he decided to go out for football. And he's turned it into where he's a prospect. Some schools are looking at him to play football. I think Mike Sy, our quarterback, I don't know if I remember an athlete progressing as much as he has from his first game against Monroe to that game against Howell. So, you know, he's kind of getting a lot of the ink, but an unsung hero. And Joe Quagliaro, obviously, is the anchor of the offensive defensive line. Not a lot of superstars. A couple kids get a lot of ink, but it's a team effort there.
Bears record 4-2 right now going into these last 3 scheduled games. The Thanksgiving Day game is at Old Bridge this year, so with only 1 more home game left.
Well, the playoff game, you never know. And then, you know, if not the playoffs, maybe a 10th game. Hopefully we'll get another couple games in there. But South Brunswick and Piscataway in a couple of days will be exciting.
Okay. One of the sports, again, having a breakthrough year here is the field hockey team under Coach Todoroff. The record right now, 12-4-2 as we are taping this. Again, a very, very impressive.
We took a second in division. We lost in the GMC finals last year. We were co-champs. This year we lost to a very good South Plainfield team. But the bottom line, Ken, we were there twice. We were in the championship twice, 2 years in a row. And that's very hard. There's a team south on the Turnpike that didn't get into the World Series this year, and then there's a team across the river that didn't. And so it just tells you how hard it is to repeat in any sport. And the field hockey girls, they certainly made it 2 years in a row. So Jess Ferdinand's been our outstanding player. I see her being an all-conference player, possibly all-state. And our goalie, a little kid, very unassuming, Jackie O'Connor, you see in the hallway, that's the goalie, that's that fierce competitor.
You kind of assume that lacrosse or field hockey goalies are bigger girls who can, you know, were there, but I saw that, she's just. And,
you know, Cindy's a great coach, and Coach Gronsky, the assistant coach, is helping her out there with the JVs, and who knows what's going to happen in the States.
Let me ask you a question about the field hockey team, about playing on the field turf field, because you know where our field hockey fields are. They also overlap the softball fields, and those grass fields, you know, they're used for phys ed, they're used for field hockey, they're used for softball, and you know, occasionally somebody will go out there with a bucket of golf balls and be whacking the golf balls around. Those fields must not have been very good, reliable fields to play on. I know how the football field was before the renovations because of coaching lacrosse on that field. The field hockey, the turf fields now must be wonderful to play on. I mean, just more of a consistency.
Well, let's go back to the grass field hockey field. That was one of the better ones in the area, but it still does not compare to field hockey. I don't even want to ask Coach Todoroff to play on grass. because it's like, and the whole state tournament, people are you got to play on turf. You're playing on turf. And it helps our game, ball control, short passing. We're quick. So turf field's definitely an advantage for field hockey players anywhere. You get the true roll, the true bounces. And maybe that's been to our success, is that we can play up to our skills, which is speed and passing. And does that have something to do with our success? I think so. And if not, at least you believe it. But anyway, yeah, the girls enjoy playing on the field hockey, the turf fields. And they're having a good year. We'll see what happens. State tournament starts next week. Like I said,
any word on seeding in the state tournament?
Well, we're going to play Monroe, and we're looking at hopefully Wednesday the 4th. Officials in field hockey, there's a shortage. You don't know if we can get enough. I don't want to play on Thursday. That's the teacher convention day. There's a lot of challenges with that. So we're looking to do it Wednesday, and then hopefully pick up a game against Westfield on Monday to keep them sharp. Okay. Usually they fill out the brackets. They fill out the dates for 16 teams. This year, only 8 teams got in it, so we have less games to get into the finals. That's why we have that big break.
All right. As we go downstairs in the gym here, the gymnastics equipment is set up, ready to go for Coach Sefcik and the girls' gymnastics team. 5-2 record right now. And again, kind of under the radar screen with all the other sports that go on there.
Well, believe it or not, we're like 5th or 6th in the state. We have lost the #1 Bishop R, and to follow our, play anyone anytime, we lost to #3 Hillsborough by like tenths of points, like tiny, like not pointing your toe or something, Ken. So we're as good as anyone, but to get past them, I don't know if we can. We'd have to be exceptional that day, and maybe they'd have to have a couple faults. But because you know what gymnastics is, you pretty much know what you're going to do. You can't call a timeout. You can't change your offense. Okay, in football, other sports you can do. Gymnastics, it's like track. You're going to go out there and you're going to do the best you have to do. There's nothing you can do to prevent them from scoring. But they're having a great team, a great season, 3rd in the division. 2nd in the division, 3rd in the GMC meet by just a 1/10 of a point the other day. But the two twins provide a lot of senior leadership for us, the Bajorek, Stephanie, and Jennifer. But as you said, Coach, you did a great job. We're looking forward to the states, which start next week, and maybe we'll make a little noise. But we'll be rated at the end of the year in the top 10 in the state in gymnastics.
I am thinking back to the class of '99, and we had a state champion gymnast there, Jade Schloida.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? And that was, it was kind of, again, just something way out of the blue, and I just...
Yeah. Plus the new floor, and thanks to the Board of Ed and Dr. Magistro about supporting that brand new floor we got, which helps our... It's a spring floor. It's the best around.
Yeah, I was downstairs. I was walking around down there just to kind of look around, and I saw that elevated floor with the springs there, just like you would see in an Olympic competition or NCAA competition, as opposed to just doing it on the mats.
Right.
Okay, we'll take a break right now and talk about the wonderful job that Phil Hostler does as athletic trainer. All these sports are in session. You know there's going to be injuries. You know there's going to be those people who need to have a little extra work done, perhaps before or after a game. And Phil Hostler, one of the most recognized names in athletic training in this state, and his student assistants.
Well, not only is he consistently good, but he's very proactive, as you know. He's way ahead of the curve on the concussion education. He's written books, he's writing articles, he's involved with the state of writing policy and procedures. And of course, he was way ahead of everyone with the hydration. So we're lucky to have Phil and everything he does, and he's got about 5 or 6 kids that want to they came in my office, said hello to me, that want to get into some sort of physical therapy or medicine, and that's a great beginning for them, working with Phil. So thank you to Phil.
Mm-hmm. And now the girls volleyball team, Coach Melissa Strauss, 17-9 record.
So I said in the beginning, usually volleyball, we're winning the division every year. Well, this year we didn't win the division. Some new schools came in, Colonia came in, and they're very hot. They're a hot club right now, and they won the division. However, we got the GMCs coming up. We're going to the number 2 seed, Mother Seton, on Thursday. And then if we're lucky enough to beat them, which we can, then this Saturday at noon, we'll play for the GMC Championship again against Colonia or South Brunswick, whoever's there. So we're right in the mix. We can win it all. And then we have the states coming up, and we'll get a decent seed. They're going to seed later in the week.
Okay.
Well, let me mention a couple of girls. Emery
say.
Childs, how about what she did this year? We had that game for cancer, Spike for Cancer. She just did a great job. They raised money for cancer victims, and they just, everything was pink. The pink ball, we got donations. We had T-shirts that are pink, and Albridge was able to help us play that game. But Emery, thank you for that. How about Emily Fredericks and Deanna Black, our number 1, number 2, number 1 leader in kills this year. Another very unassuming kids, but very fundamentally sound. They're the reason we're very good. And then Sarah Favis is doing a great job as a senior, and Olivia Galata is the leader in assists for us. So we got a nice mixture. No outstanding athlete. Maybe Emily, maybe Deandra will be all division or conference, I don't know, but no outstanding. But no doubt in my mind, Coach Rutz and Strauss, Coach of the Year performance this year on getting us to be contenders.
Okay, and the cheerleading squad, who's seemingly everywhere this time of year, especially football, soccer, volley, anything, given an opportunity to support the efforts of our athletes. And these are athletes themselves.
They're athletes.
Yeah.
TV3 will hopefully tape them at their halftime performance in the upcoming game against South Brunswick. And you just got to the audience, you just got to watch these girls perform out there, from their gymnastics moves to their flexibility to the dance and to the strength moves. They're just great athletes. And it's a lot of fun to watch them. They're genuinely enthusiastic out there. And Coach Bergen is doing a great job with them, and we thank her. And the 2 leaders, Bella Toto and Vicky Brower, our co-captains, are doing a great job with the girls. And they're having a lot of fun, and that's important. And they're rated number 1 in the state. I made the poll.
Yeah.
Girls tennis.
Well, yeah, talking about number 1, being number 1, Coach Brian McInerney and the girls tennis team, again, pulling off the big victory when needed. Yeah, that was...
It was great. Ken, we were like down. We had to win 3 out of the 4, and we had to beat the person that was in first place. And Anastasia just did a great job for us at second singles. She lost to the girl twice in the regular season and beat her in the GMC championships after losing the first set. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great win, and that sealed the win for us. And another GMC championship for girls tennis. Took a second in the division, but certainly winning the conference championship, and then doing a good job in the States, won our first round in the States and then bowed. But Mac is amazing. He just put the kids in the right spot and positive with them, Coach McInerney, and positive with them, and got them to believe in themselves. And we won the GMC. Let me just talk, Hannah Malk was at first, she was part of the GMC doubles champion, and also was Lindsay Kirchenbaum. They won the the conference championship at first doubles. Second doubles, Stephanie Wee and Grace Sang did, again, acquired a lot of points as you go through the ladder to help us win the championship. But again, it was Anastasia who, at the last meet of the day, everyone stopped, everyone's watching, she ends up winning. And Marina say thank you to her for her leadership throughout the year.
And again, the tennis team did very well this
Another
year.
another championship. Remember I said in the beginning, always winning something. Always.
Mm-hmm. And now the sports, we couldn't talk about the fall sports without the soccer programs, both doing very well here, both as we speak right now with only 2 losses each. The girls soccer team under Coach Kevin Brady and the boys soccer under Coach Terry McKibben.
Right. Girls soccer lost to South Brunswick twice by 1 goal. Both times I don't know if we came out to play. Coach kind of alluded to that. And tomorrow we're going to be in Sayreville at 4 o'clock for the GMC semis. If we win, We're going to play for another GMC championship on Saturday at 1:30 up in Woodbridge. And the boys, again, they're right in the mix of everything. They're also rated in the state. They got 2 losses. But the losses, and this is a toughie, Ken, and you were a coach. We clinched the division, and we were playing games that had to be played because it's in the schedule, but it really didn't mean anything. So Coach played everyone equally and gave some kids some more time that he wouldn't, knowing that if we lost, it really didn't mean anything because the seedings for the state were already submitted. So, yeah, we lost 2 games, and would have liked to win, but, undefeated seasons, they're a thing of the past. So those losses should have a little asterisk in my mind next to them. But they won the division, and now they're going to compete for the GMC championship. A couple of the girls, Gabby Carbone probably gets most of the ink, Ken, as far as scoring is concerned, but she's receiving all the passes, probably a lot of them from Cassie Riccio. And in today's paper, you saw that a lot of the ink went to the defense. Brady's one of those defensive-minded coaches. I think he puts his best athletes back there because he's going to stop you from scoring. And Elise Rohan and Julia Westcott. Julie's only a sophomore, and Elise, we know through basketball, they're doing a great job back there on defense, just shutting people down. And another scorer of hers is Christine Estramera. It's an exciting team to watch. They're capable of winning Group 4 state championships. They don't talk about it. I think they just talk about the next game. They got a tough game with Monroe coming up. I think it's a very focused group. It's not a lot of rah-rah stuff, and I don't mean that in a negative. It seems to be a lot of just down to business. And the boys, I got Joseph is a junior. He's just outstanding with the ball out there. Joe Caruso has just really jumped his game up. This year. He may be our leading scorer. He's being recruited a lot of schools. FDU was there the other day. Jake Weinrob. Jake is a quiet player out there.
Oh, you should have him in class.
I bet he's a very intelligent kid.
He is very smart, sharp as a button.
Yeah, he's very intense. He's quiet, but he's a player, and he's an unsung hero. Grant Corton, our goalie, he doesn't get a lot of ink, but he's good. Doesn't get a lot of ink because we play good defense. And then maybe our best all-around player, maybe one of the best athletes in the school, Abu Bestros. He's also a starter for the basketball team. He's just fun to watch with the ball and his athletic ability. And if you know about our boys soccer team, there's no outstanding scorer. Everything's close. And today you're the champ or the hero. Tomorrow I'm the hero. The coach spreads the ball around a lot. The scoring gets spread around a lot. They're focused too. They won the GMC championships, and we never had the Group 4 championship in soccer. And I think that's where they want to go.
Okay, well that wraps up the sports season, but let's talk about another issue that's been floated around, especially it's been very politicized in the news, and that is the battle over reforms or abolishment of the SIAA, the governing body for New Jersey interscholastic athletics. As an athletic director, what's your take on that reform effort or the possibility of completely dismantling it and placing the authority of the sports under the School Boards Association?
I think there's an agenda behind the abolishment of this by that person. I don't think it's good for athletics to be governed by the Boards Association or the Department of Education. That group does a great, great job of running the athletic programs. They don't care if you're East Brunswick or Seton Hall Prep or Bergen Catholic or Cherokee High School. Everyone gets treated the same. You've got to do what you got to do. Get your papers in on time. Do everything. Everyone's treated the same. Seeds are all done the same. If you need something answered, Ken, you call down there. Within minutes, you get your answer. And it could be from eligibility. It could be a question about, well, if a kid did this, and can he do this? It could be about starting practice on time. It could be about the amount of time. It could be about concussions. Anything. they'll get back to you immediately.
One of the things- okay.
It's a class operation, and it would be a mistake. I personally don't think anything's going to happen.
Well, one of the things that came out of it was that if this organization is abolished, there could be no state championship games.
That's not going to happen because someone will run it. Just like someone would run a GMC field hockey championship if the conference said there's no more field hockey championship. Someone will step up and run the championship. The coaches' organization, that's my opinion. I'm not talking for East Brunswick, my opinion. And I personally don't think it's going to happen. I think what it's going to do is they're going to have someone to look at more of their spending. Is there any frivolous spending? Been at meetings, been at the workshops. I don't see any wasted money. I don't see any wasted money. I know the books they give us out, it's about this thick of every high school in the state. The AD's home phone, the principal's home phone, the superintendent's home phone, their business phone, their work number, their emails. Who's the coach of what sport? They didn't send them to us this year as part of our dues. They put that online. So if you want that, you have to go online. The Constitution, which is about 250 pages, that's online. So they're doing a lot of things to save money. The ticket prices, you want to play the football game at the Meadowlands?
Yeah, you're going to have to, you're renting the building, you're going to have to pay.
You know we're involved, East Brunswick, I'm involved with going to Rutgers. We want to run the GMC basketball championships there at Rutgers. It's a few bucks to get in there. People can't give their stuff away, their facilities away. People are working, you got to pay them. And you also need security, and that's a big part of the money.
All right, we'd like to thank the EBTV technical crew for all the work that they do for us in East Brunswick Athletics over the course of the entire season. But one of the things that they have done recently is to place games and other EBTV programming online. You go onto the East Brunswick Public Library website, www.ebpl.org, click on the EBTV link, and you could stream on demand our games. Sports Talk, I guess, will be on there soon. Games, other programs of the public interest. Again, that's ebpl.org, and look for the EBTV logo. For Frank Noppenberger, I'm Ken Saroka. Thank you very much for joining us here at Sports Talk.